Hello, everyone, and welcome again in the episode number 6. So, this is Hamza speaking, and let's complete our adventure. Okay, well, in 2017, something deep inside me said it was time for a bigger challenge. I had been practicing English, working online, and speaking with tourists in Morocco. But I needed to push myself further. I wanted to step out of my comfort zone and test everything I had learned so far. That's when I decided to travel to South Korea. Yes, South Korea, a place I had never been, a culture I barely understood, and a language I didn't speak. People thought I was crazy. They said, "How will you manage? You don't even speak fluent English yet." But I told myself, this is exactly why I need to go. So I booked my tickets, packed my bags, and prepared for an unforgettable adventure. The trip to South Korea was a test of my patience and my passion for learning. The journey was long, really long. First, I flew 8 hours from Morocco to Doha. When I arrived, I had a 23-hour stopover before my next flight. At first, I thought, what will I do for 23 hours? But then I realized this was the perfect opportunity to practice English. I spoke to airport staff, other travelers, and even shopkeepers. I asked for directions, shared stories, and listened to theirs. And listened to theirs. Every conversation was like a small lesson. By the time I got on my next flight, 8 hours again to South Korea, I was really exhausted. But I couldn't stop smiling. I was already learning so much, and I hadn't even arrived yet. When I finally landed in South Korea, I was hit by a wave of excitement and confusion. I didn't know anyone, I didn't understand the signs, and I didn't even have a clear plan for where I was going. I was in Mapo, Seoul, and I wanted to explore. But there was one problem. I didn't want to take taxis. But there was one problem. I didn't want to take a taxi or a bus. I wanted to see the city with my own eyes on my own feet. So I started walking and walking and walking. After about 2 hours, I realized I was completely lost. My feet were sore. I was tired and I didn't know how to ask for help. But instead of panicking, I thought, this is why I am here, to figure things out, to learn, and to grow. Eventually, I found my way back, but those 2 hours of being lost taught me something important. It's okay to feel unsure. Every step, even the wrong ones, takes you closer to where you want to be. While in South Korea, I wanted to experience everything. One of my favorite memories was trying Korean breakfast for the first time. The flavors were new, the food was different, and I had no idea what I was eating, but I loved it. Sitting there, surrounded by locals, I realized how powerful language is. Even though I couldn't speak Korean, my English helped me connect with people. I asked them about the food, their culture, and their favorite places in Seoul. By the end of my trip, I felt like a different person. I wasn't just learning English anymore. I was living it. Let me tell you now about my next adventure. So, after South Korea, I felt unstoppable. So, I planned my next trips. First to Turkey, and then to Serbia. In Turkey, I continued practicing English with travelers and locals. I explored beautiful cities, shared meals with strangers, and even tried teaching a few people some Arabic words. But Serbia was the trip that changed everything. I traveled with ISEC, an organization that connects young people with opportunities to volunteer and make a difference. My role? Teaching English, of course. It was my first time standing in front of a class as an English teacher. I was nervous at first, but the students were kind and curious. They asked me questions, laughed at my jokes, and made me feel welcome. Teaching English in Serbia wasn't just a job, it was a moment of realization. I thought, if I can teach English here, I can do this anywhere. It gave me the confidence I needed to take my skill to the next level. After that, I came home, and here is the real start. When I returned to Morocco, I felt like a new person. I had seen the world, met amazing people, and learned so much, not just about English, but about myself. But I also realized that my journey wasn't over. In fact, it was just beginning. I was more determined than ever to master English, to teach it to others, and to use it to create opportunities. Looking back, I can't believe how far I've come from struggling to speak a single word to traveling the world, learning, teaching, and growing. This journey has been more than I could have ever imagined. So, guys, we have reached the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Hamza's English Journey. I hope my story inspires you to take risks, embrace challenges, and never stop learning. In the next episode, I will share how I built my confidence as a speaker and tackled some of the hardest conversations I've ever had in English. Stay tuned and remember, no dream is too big and no step is too small when it comes to learning a new language. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep learning, and keep growing. So, guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and share, and see you in the next episode. Bye.